Brothers and sisters, let's listen to the following story entitled, The Lion and the Deer Who Learned to Trust. First of all, please subscribe, like and write comments about where you come from. Here's the story. In a very large forest, there lived a brave lion named King Arga. Arga is the king of the jungle. His voice boomed. His steps are strong. All the animals respect him, and also fear him. Because lions are known as strong and dangerous animals. If Arga walks, small animals immediately move aside. When Arga roars, the entire forest becomes silent. But actually, Arga is not a cruel lion. He was just firm. He keeps order in the forest. On the other side of the forest, there lived a young deer named Reno. Reno is a lively and kind deer. But Reno has one problem. He is very easily frightened. He always thinks, lions must be evil. The lion must want to eat me. Every time he heard heavy footsteps, Reno immediately hid. Every time he heard a lion's roar, Reno trembled. He never dared to approach. One morning, Reno went to the river to drink. He walked carefully, but he didn't realize. There are hunters' tracks around the river. Small hole in the ground. There is a hidden string. Reno lowered his head to drink. Suddenly, thud, her feet are entangled. Ah, Reno panicked. He tried to pull his leg, but the noose got stronger. Reno was shaking. I am stuck, he called. Help, help, but no animal dared to come. Because the place is close to the lion's territory. Soon after that, heavy footsteps were heard. Dum, dum, dum. Reno froze. No, that's a lion. He looked from behind the bush. King Arga comes. Reno was shaking violently. This is the end of my life. Arga looked at Reno. He didn't roar. He just said, young deer, why are you stuck there? Reno stared in fear. You want to eat me. Arga frowned. Eat you? I didn't come for that. Reno was confused. Arga approached slowly. Calm. I will help you. Reno couldn't believe it. Lion helps deer. That's not possible. But Arga began to bite the snare rope carefully. Reno was still shaking. I don't believe it. Arga said. Sometimes what you fear is not always true. With one strong pull, tarrkk, the rope broke. Reno fell freely. He is safe. Reno stared at Arga with wide eyes. You saved me. Arga nodded. This forest belongs to us all. I don't want any other animals to get hurt. Reno was silent. For the first time, he saw the lion not as a monster, but as a helper. Reno, who was afraid of lions, was saved by King Arga. Is Reno starting to learn to trust? After the noose was removed, Reno was still sitting on the ground. Her legs were shaking. His breath was ragged. He looked at King Arga who was standing in front of him. The big lion looked majestic and strong. But his face was not as scary as Reno had imagined all this time. Arga said in a calm voice. You are okay. Reno answered quietly. Yes. But I still can't believe it. Arga raised an eyebrow. Don't believe what? Reno swallowed hard. I can't believe a lion can help a deer. Arga was silent for a moment. Then he sighed. I understand. Many animals are afraid of me. Reno lowered his head. That's because lions are predators. Arga nodded. That's right, lions are strong. But not all power is used to hurt. Reno was silent. Those words made him think. Arga saw that Reno was still weak. You can't walk far now. Come on, I'll take you to a safe route. Reno immediately panicked. No, I can do it myself. Arga did not force it. He just said, I will not harm you. But the hunters might still be around. Reno was silent. He knew Arga was right. The trap was proof that humans came to the forest. Hesitantly, Reno said, okay, but don't get too close. Arga smiled. Slightly. Good. They walked slowly. Reno in front, Arga guarding from behind. Throughout the journey, Reno kept looking back. He was still scared, but Arga remained calm. On the way, they met a rabbit and a squirrel. As soon as he saw the lion, the rabbit immediately screamed. Quadruple A. Lion. The squirrel jumped into the tree. Reno quickly said, wait, don't run. The rabbit is shaking. You with the lion. Reno was confused. Yes, he helped me. The rabbit didn't believe it. Impossible. The lion will definitely eat you. Arga said in a deep but not angry voice. I'm not hungry. I'm just making sure this deer is safe. The rabbit and the squirrel looked at each other. They were still afraid, so they hurried away. Reno feels sad. Look, all the animals are afraid of you. Arga stared into the distance. I am used to, but sometimes, I also want to be trusted. Reno was silent. He just realized, the big lion also has feelings. When he arrived at a safe place, Arga stopped under a large tree. Reno also stopped. Arga said, "You are safe now." Reno nodded. "Thank you." Arga looked at Reno. "Reno, may I ask a question?" Reno hesitated. "What?" Arga said. "Why are you so afraid of me before you even know me?" Reno lowered his head. "Because since childhood, I was always taught that lions were a threat. My father said, never trust a lion." Arga sighed. "Sometimes stories make us afraid. However, reality can be different." Reno slowly nodded. "I saw it myself today. You saved me." Arga smiled slightly. "That's the first step. Trust doesn't come in a day. But it can grow little by little." Reno said quietly, "I will try." Arga nodded. "That is enough." However, behind the bushes, there are other eyes watching. A hunter stands still. He saw a lion and a deer together. The hunter whispered, "Interesting. If the lion were here, I can trap him." He set a new trap. The forest is not completely safe yet. Reno begins to see the good side of King Arga, and the seeds of trust begin to grow. But the danger of poachers still lurks. Will Arga and Reno face the threat together? In the days following the snare incident, Reno couldn't forget King Arga. Every time he walked in the forest, he remembered how the big lion helped him. But the fear in his heart had not completely disappeared. He still often thinks, what if one day Arga changes? But, he saved me. Reno was confused between fear and trust. Meanwhile, King Arga was growing increasingly wary. He knew the hunter's snare was no small matter. Arga said in his heart, "If the hunters come in, all the animals are in danger." He started wandering around the forest more often. He wants to make sure his area is safe. But the hunter turned out to be cunning. He set a new trap. Not for deer, but for the lion. One morning, a crow came flying quickly while shouting, "Danger! Danger!" Reno was shocked. "What is it?" The crow said. "I saw humans setting a big trap near the valley." Reno was shaking. "Trap?" The crow nodded. "Yes, a trap for large animals." Reno immediately remembered Arga. It must be for King Arga. Without thinking twice, Reno ran fast. "I have to tell him." Reno finally found Arga walking on the valley path. The Lion King looked as dashing as ever. Reno shouted, "King Arga, wait." Arga turned his head. "Reno, what's wrong?" Reno was panting. "There are hunters. They set a big trap near the valley." Arga frowned. "Are you sure?" Reno nodded quickly. "Yes." The crow saw it. Arga said firmly, "Then I have to check it out." Reno panicked. "Don't be alone." Arga looked at Reno. "Are you coming?" Reno hesitated. He is still afraid of being near lions. But he remembered that Arga had helped him. Reno took a breath. "I am coming along." Arga nodded. "Okay. But be careful." They walked together towards the valley. Reno continued to look around. Arga walked calmly, but his eyes were sharp. Reno said quietly, "King Arga, why do you want to protect all the animals?" Arga answered, "Because I am the king of the jungle. The king's job is not just to be strong, but keep it." Reno was silent in amazement. As they were almost there, Reno noticed the ground ahead looked strange. "There are leaves covering something." Reno shouted, "Stop." Arga stopped. "What is it?" Reno pointed. "It's like a trap." Arga approached slowly, but suddenly, clack, the big iron trap is closing. Arga's legs are trapped. Gra-a-r-r. Arga roared in pain. Reno was shocked. "No." Arga tried to pull his leg away, but the trap was very strong. He growled, "Hunter." Reno panicked. "I have to help." But his body is small. "What can deer do?" Arga said with a heavy breath. "Reno, go away. If the hunters come, you will be in danger too." Reno was shaking. "Go." Leaving Arga. His heart was at war. Reno remembers that he used to always run from lions. But Arga never ran away when Reno needed help. Reno looked at Arga. Then he said firmly, "No, I will not leave you." Arga was surprised. You're staying here." Reno nodded. "You saved me once. Now it's my turn." From a distance a human voice was heard. Hey, I hear a roar. The trap worked. Reno was shaking. The hunters are getting closer. Arga said. Reno, hurry. Reno thought hard. He had to find a way. He saw the trap rope connected to the tree. He couldn't open the iron. But maybe, he can pull the locking rope. Reno said. I'll try. Arga nodded weakly. Be careful. Reno started biting the rope. With its small teeth, it pulled as hard as it could. Grr. The hunters are getting closer. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. Reno was almost desperate. But he didn't stop. Arga was caught in a hunter's trap. Reno had to choose, run for his life or help the lion. Reno chooses to be loyal. But the hunters are getting closer. Will Reno succeed in saving King Arga? Reno continued to bite the trap rope with all his might. His teeth are small. His body is not as strong as a lion's. But his heart was full of courage. He said in his heart, I have to succeed. I can't give up. Beside him, King Arga was in pain. His legs were trapped tightly. He growled softly, Reno, hurry. Reno nodded without stopping biting. Soon. But the hunter's voice was getting closer. Come on, find the lion. The trap must have caught him. Reno panicked. Time is running out. Arga took a deep breath. Reno, go. You won't be able to fight against humans. Reno looked at Arga with firm eyes. I'm not going. Arga was silent. He never thought. The deer that used to be so afraid of him. Now he is risking his life. Arga said softly, You are truly a brave friend. Reno replied, I learned to trust you. Now I have to prove it. Reno saw that the rope was too strong to bite until it broke. He thought hard. What can I do? Suddenly he saw a large rock near the trap. Reno got an idea. He ran quickly to the rock. With its horns, it pushed the rock slowly. Ung, ung. The stone is heavy. But Reno kept pushing. He pointed it at the trap's locking part. Arga looked on with hope. Reno, you can. Reno said while pushing. I must. The stone finally fell right onto the locking lever. Dug. There was a loud noise. The trap lock shifted slightly. Arga felt the iron grip starting to loosen. Arga growled. A little bit more. Reno pushed once more with all his strength. Ah, dug. Suddenly, clack. The trap is open. Arga's leg is off. Arga fell down. But he is free. Reno was panting. We succeeded. But before they could feel relieved, human voices were already in front of the bushes. I see the tracks. That's the lion. Reno froze. Arga quickly stood up even though his legs hurt. He said firmly, Reno, come with me. Reno nodded. Arga endured the pain, then walked quickly to the forest path. Reno followed. But the hunter saw them. Hey, the lion ran away. Chase. Arga looked back. He knows. If they keep running, Reno could get caught. Reno was smaller and slower than an angry lion. Arga said, Reno, get on my back. Reno was shocked. What? Arga said. Fast. Reno hesitated for a moment. But, he believed. He jumped onto Arga's back. Arga ran with great strength. Boom, boom, boom. The hunter was shocked. Very fast. Arga took Reno deep into the forest, passing through bushes and rocks. Finally they arrived at a safe place. The hunter couldn't keep up. They gave up and left. In a safe place, Arga stopped. He was panting. Reno came down slowly. They stared at each other. Reno said quietly, You were safe. Arga nodded. Because of you. Reno smiled slightly. I don't believe it. I am a small deer, but I can help a big lion. Arga looked at Reno with respect. You were not just a little deer. You were a true friend. Reno felt warm in his chest. He said, And you were not the monster I feared. You were a good king. Reno managed to save King Arga from the hunter's trap. Their belief grows stronger. The final chapter will be a lesson for the entire forest about mutual trust. That night, the forest was silent again. The moon shone softly through the trees. But for Reno and Raja Arga, that night felt different. They sat under a large tree, far from the valley where the hunter's trap was. King Arga was still in a little pain. But he survived. And it's all because of Reno. Reno looked at Arga with a heart full of mixed feelings. He still couldn't believe that he had just saved a lion. Reno said quietly, King Arga, I used to be so scared of you. Arga looked at Reno. I know. Reno continued. I always thought lions only brought danger. But today, I see your kindness. Arga smiled slightly. And I see your courage. Arga took a deep breath. Reno, all my life, all animals have respected me. But they were never really close. Reno was shocked. Why? Arga stared into the distance. Because they are afraid. They saw my teeth, my claws. But they don't see my heart. Reno lowered his head. I am also like that. Arga said softly. But you are different. You learn to trust. Reno smiled. Because you believe in me too. The next morning, news spread throughout the forest. The crow said, Reno saved King Arga. The monkey exclaimed, the little deer helps the big lion. All the animals were shocked. They gathered in a forest field. Deer, rabbits, turtles, even bears came. They saw Reno standing beside King Arga. Shaking Rabbit. Reno, you didn't get eaten. Reno smiled. No, King Arga is not an evil lion. He actually protects us. The animals looked at each other. They started to feel embarrassed. Because so far they have only judged from fear. Arga stood up and said in a firm but warm voice. Friends, our forests are in danger. The hunter has entered. We can't be suspicious of each other. We have to trust each other and work together. All the animals were silent. Reno stepped forward and said, I am proof that trust can save. I used to be afraid of lions. But it turns out that lions can also be friends. Since that day, the forest changed. The animals no longer ran away in fear when Arga passed. They started to greet each other. Good morning, King Arga. Arga nodded. Reno was no longer shaking. He walks with confidence. Arga and Reno often patrol together. If there is any sign of a hunter, they immediately give a warning. Birds watch from the sky. Monkeys give signals from the trees. All animals work together, because they have learned that fear and prejudice only divide, while trust unites. One afternoon, Reno said, King Arga, I'm thankful I didn't run away that time. Arga smiled. I am also grateful that you chose to believe. Reno nodded. Because it turns out, the strong are not only those who have fangs, but the one who has the heart. Arga said, and the brave are not only the big ones, but also those who want to help. They walked together in the evening light. The king and the deer, two different creatures, but united by trust. Moral message. Don't judge someone solely on fear or prejudice. Trust and kindness can grow from experience. Strong and weak animals can help each other. The forest will be peaceful if everyone trusts and works together.